Hey everybody. Um, I'm back again with probably part three now. I should actually put this in section part one, two, and three. But just to continue from where we were. So after I think we got to the bit where I'd went into social care. My auntie took me in and it was a good few years of my life. For the first time, I actually saw like how sometimes you can have a different life with other people, because obviously I've only known of like being mistreated, and I was treated pretty well. So my auntie would like make me breakfast in the morning, which I wasn't used to. She'd set my bath every day, which I wasn't used to. I felt like I was being treated like a princess, which was really nice. She'd make sure I had my lunch, whereas before my mum wasn't really that bothered about those things. She'd make sure I did my homework. It was a little bit stricter than I was used to. So I wasn't allowed to watch as much TV because with my mom, I could watch TV as much as I wanted. But then this lady that I was living with was educating me, trying to make sure that I'd receive the best. I had piano lessons. They was pretty good for a little while. We even went on a holiday. I think she took me to a few holidays, but she'd taken me to some holidays anyway before I'd moved in with her. Because originally I used to spend like weekends with her or summer holidays and stuff like that. So we'd do things like tour London, we went to Devon, we went to some nice places, but whilst I lived with her, we went to Disney World. So as a child, that was a really nice experience. We went to Florida. We went to New York. Yeah, it was nice. The only thing strange I would say would be that after my bath, she would take my bath water and bathe in it, which I thought she was saving water, but there's a story in that one that I'll get to later. And then unfortunately as well, it was good, but it didn't last that long. This lady, this aunt of mine, would start saying nasty things about my mum. Now, I don't like the way my mum treated me. I don't appreciate the fact that she was the way that she was and how she dealt with me. But like I said, I'm very family orientated and my blood is my blood. No matter how she treated me, you can't speak badly about my mother to me. And you're supposed to be taking me out of a situation which is supposed to be better. And you are coming across to me as a child as mean. Like, you take me away from my mother to protect me from danger, apparently, and you just are quite nasty in your personality. And I found her a little bit controlling as well. Like, I remember just wanting freedom. I was like in the young stages of high school, and I was 11, I think 12. So I'm at an experimental age, I'm trying to wear makeup. I wasn't allowed to, fine. She was strict, I get that. I understand that. My friends were kind of like going to and from school by themselves. She wouldn't allow me to. So it became a little bit suffocating because I was so used to a wayward life. I don't know if I've said the right word, but I was freer at my mum's house. So I was able to go to school by myself, come home by myself, because I wasn't a baby, you know. So I found her a little bit suffocating after a while, and then speaking down on my mum was not, to me, that was not a good look. You can't portray yourself as a nice person, but then you're just gonna bad mouth the other person. Like, you're not coming across as nice as far as I am concerned. Yeah. And just little things like not being able to watch TV. Like, I was really restricted. I'd gone from a very free life, abusive, to a very, I suppose, caring home, but very smothering, very can't do anything, you know. And I just wasn't used to it. And my mum would always say, because I was allowed to go and see my mum at the weekends and stuff like that, and she'd always say to me, just don't go back, just don't go back. And I thought, no, that's a bit mean. You know, she's trying to look after me. I didn't want to not go back. But I think it got too much for me in the end, and I decided not to go back. I should have just said to her that I didn't want to go back. There was something I forgot, actually, that I should have said in between this, because this is all part of everything that's going to come together in the end. So, we used to do Bible studies, and it was like on a Tuesday or Wednesday evening, and it'll be her and all these older women just coming together, praying from the Bible, reading scriptures. And I remember one day I was with them. I don't think I went to every Bible class. Strangely enough, I don't remember going to every Bible class, but I do remember going to this one. And I remember them telling me to, I think they said read something from the Bible. I don't know. My memory's very vague with that. But the bit that I will never forget was, as I was sitting there and reading the words that I was told to read, I felt like I was being lifted up. I felt like I was having an outer body experience, like I was floating, but I was still sitting there. I felt like it. I never put too much thought into it, but yeah. later on I questioned that situation. But so anyway, I left her home and I went back to my mum's. Years had passed, same situation, mum still being mum, being angry, beating me for no reason. It was quite embarrassing, actually. She would beat me in front of my friends and stuff like that. It was quite embarrassing. But it's mum. You just got used to it. It was just my mum. But I'll tell you one thing that struck out to me about her personality at one stage of my life. I remember being in the front room with her, and she was talking to a family member of mine, another auntie, and she was telling them something about me. I don't remember what in particular, but what she was telling them was not the truth. And I remember getting really upset, because I'm actually one of these people that I appreciate honesty. I love honesty, because my mom's a bit of a liar, and I will call her a compulsive liar. Like, I just saw her lie for no reason. So I think the truth has just been embedded in me, and I hate lies. Up to now, I hate lies. Ask my kids, if you lie to me once, that's it. You've actually lost my trust. It's really hard to gain it back once you've lied to me, because I'm just really harsh when it comes to lying. I don't see the need. I don't see the point. I'll just tell you like it is. I'm sorry if you don't like it, but it is what it is. And I don't know what more to say about that. But she was talking to this person, and I'd got upset. I was like, Mum, why are you doing that? Like, why are you talking stupidness and lying to people? And my auntie, this is like an accent I'm gonna put on. She was like, that is Abby. Like, yeah, that was Abby, because a grown woman, was lying to you on the phone. But I tell you what I understood from that. And this is me being young, because I've never been stupid, unfortunately. Like, God gave me sense, thank God. I realized that she lies about me as well as other people, because I saw her do it all the time. But what got me was they saw what she wanted them to see. She portrayed me as, I'm assuming, an angry child, because it all adds up later on in life. And from defending myself made me look bad. I caught on to that very early. I was like, that was your whole point. It was to lie in front of me, and it was for me to have a reaction, and it was for her to see the reaction. Okay, point taken. For me, I see where you're coming from. And because I know my mom, I sat there and listened to her talk about people, have conversations. I know that she's quite malicious, quite, I don't think gossip is the right word, but it is gossip, obviously, but should add her little extras into it to make people look bad. And I saw her do it to my nan. I saw her do it to my auntie. I saw her do it to my uncle. I kind of saw her do it to everyone. Like, she would literally spread lies, say things, elaborate them more than what they were, made bad situations worse than what they were, so the other person would look bad. And it was a trait that I had noticed that she did a lot, as well as the lying. So for me, again, not trying to be better than anyone, I don't want to be like that. That didn't seem very nice. Because my other side of the family, my nan that died when I was 5, they're very good people. They're very decent people. And I've never seen them be malicious or lie. And to see that behavior, and to tell you the truth, she was the only person that I saw that behavior from. Nobody else seemed to show that behavior. So I always thought, no, I don't want to be that way. So let's roll on. Because of how I was being treated, I ran away a lot. I was constantly just not coming home. Didn't want to. Like I said, I was just unhappy, just so unhappy. And I just wanted somewhere to go to escape what I'd gone through. But yeah. So I think we're just going to go on to, I don't know, 16 from onwards from there. Actually, no, let's go back to 14. Let's go backwards. Because I was looking for love, because I wasn't getting it from home. My dad wasn't there, so really and truly, I wasn't receiving love. My mum had my sister, and you can say I received love from her. She was my younger sibling. She absolutely adored me, and I absolutely adored her. I had waited 9 years to have a sibling. I fell in love with her from the day she came home, and it was a bond that was so special. even though we were 9 years apart, I loved her. I absolutely loved her to pieces. I took her everywhere with me. I didn't have the freedom like everybody else did. So my mum would work and I would have to look after my sister. So when I went out with my friends, I was just known as the girl that always had her little sister with her. And I was fine with that. And to tell you the truth, if anything, it kept me out of trouble. Because when people were getting naughty and doing things and having drugs, I had to go home because my sister had to go home. So I never begrudged her for that. Absolutely never begrudged her for that. And I'd rather her be with me than be at home with my mum or just somebody else. Like I said, I adored her. I didn't mind being around, like having to look after her. It was a pleasure. But anyway, so let's go to the 14 now. So I'm 14 years old and I'm at a house party that is my mom's friends. I think it was a friend's surprise birthday party. And I had a boyfriend at the time, by the way. Yes, I started really young. But so I'm at this birthday party. A friend of mine was there because it was her stepdad's birthday surprise party. And we were there and this guy just walks in and I was like, okay, he's kind of cute. I knew I had my boyfriend there, so I didn't show any interest or anything like that. But my boyfriend at the time was being a little bit weird and a bit offish. I can't explain it. But anyway, he wasn't there. He came to the party and then he left. So it was me, my friend, and this guy that I just met, and he had like his cousin with him. And we danced and we kind of had a moment. And it was nice. We danced to Tevin Campbell. I don't know if anybody remembers Tevin Campbell, but that was like our first dance together, our first moment together. And that day was the end. Didn't see him. And then one day I just got this call out of nowhere from home. And it was the guy that I just met at the party. And he was just so sweet and just telling me nice things, that he likes me and he'd like to get to know me. And I was like, I have a boyfriend. And he was like, well, your boyfriend said that he's not interested in you. Like I said, my boyfriend was playing up that day. So I just thought, oh, is that why he was acting like that? But anyway, I didn't take any note of it. So my mum had put in a good word for this young man and said how lovely he was. He's a nice young man. He has a mother that's ill and he's been on the news, you know, that he's a young carer. He looks after his mother and everything seemed really nice. So like everyone was putting in a good word for him. My stepdad at the time, my mom. So I was just like, you know, he's really nice. He's really good looking. Yeah, why not? Because from what I've heard, oh, he's sweet, he's caring, he's thoughtful for his mom. I'm like, a thoughtful young man, why not? So I finished with my boyfriend, which is really sad because I definitely think I broke his heart. And I kind of just moved on to a new boyfriend. So this young man ended up being in my life for the next 11 years, been together with him, probably longer than that. But he's also the father of my children. So he's been in my life for 26 years. Before we get into this, I think this is going to be another episode. So I'm going to cut this one short and we will move on to what happens with me and this young man. So, as usual, I would say God loves you and I love you too. And have a blessed day. Bye.